Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. So as we know, Regis Prograis intends to return to the ring at some point in the summer. Obviously, originally he was supposed to fight Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker has since pulled out because he wants to fight at welterweight. Prograis wanted the fight at 140. He tried to compromise at a catchweight, but Maurice Hooker wasn't having any of it. So Prograis now needs a new opponent. I've heard a couple of names mentioned for his new opponent, one of which being Chris Algieri, and to be honest, I'm not really excited about that name. I think Chris Algieri is pretty much done at this point. But one name that is being talked about, and according to various reports online, the promoters are discussing this option, and the potential opponent in question is a man by the name of Shohajon Ergashev. Now, Ergashev is a 28-year-old Uzbekistani fighter. He is a big, tall, super lightweight. He's listed as 5'10.5". He's a southpaw with a 71-inch reach, and the guy packs a punch. He's got 16 knockouts in 18 wins, and he's unbeaten. He was also a pretty good amateur, and essentially he's been waiting to step up for quite some time. He's not one of these Eastern European prospects that I'm super excited about, but he does have talent, he does have ability, and the guy can clearly crack. And to be honest, given the fact the original opponent Maurice Hooker has pulled out, I think this level of opponents would be pretty good, to be honest. I mean, if they get this fight made, I will be more than happy, because ultimately it is a test for Regis Prograis. Like I said, Ergashev is big for the weight class. He has an amateur background. He can punch. He's unbeaten. He's got ambition. And he himself is going to want to push on to the next level. So he's going to go in there with all of the ambition in the world. So this level of opponent for me would be more than acceptable for Regis Prograis' return. You know, at the end of the day, Prograis last fought in October. We're now end of June now. By the time Prograis comes back, I'd imagine earliest is going to be August. So he would have been out of a ring for quite some time, considering that this level of opponent is very good. You know, in fact, I wouldn't even call this a tune-up fight. I would say Ergashev is a contender, albeit he's not well known. But I certainly wouldn't call this a tune-up fight. It's a lot better than a tune-up fight. We've seen a lot of tune-up fights since boxing's returned with Top Rank. You know, the likes of Shakur Stevenson fighting overmatched opposition. At least this guy comes in there with ambition, with size, with power, with an amateur background. There's something to look at there. There's something to be interested in. And yeah, potentially he could test Regis Prograis. Now, I'm very high on Regis Prograis. I think the guy is an exceptional talent. I really do. And I would certainly pick him to win this fight, having seen Ergashev fight a couple of times. But again, like I said, not the worst fight in the world at all. Not many guys would be taking this sort of fight off a long layoff, you know. An unknown, unbeaten puncher from Uzbekistan. A lot of guys would swerve this, but apparently, well, according to reports, the promoters are seriously looking at this fight. So, listen, I hope this fight comes off. I'm disappointed that the Maurice Hooker fight isn't happening. I quite liked that fight. A battle between two former champions. I thought it made a lot of sense. But, you know, that fight is no longer because of Maurice Hooker. So Prograis needs to move on. And I think this would be a more than acceptable opponent. And one I would look forward to. Like I said, I'm a big admirer of Regis Prograis, his style. I really believe the guy's a special fighter. And, you know, Ergashev, he's certainly an interesting fighter himself. You know, so there we go. I like the idea of this fight. I'm not really keen on Chris Algieri. That's a name that's been bandied around in replacement of Maurice Hooker. I'm not really keen on Chris Algieri as an opponent. I just think the guy's seen better days, in all honesty. I think he's sticking around for one more payday. I don't think he'll really do much against Prograis. And yeah, not really keen on Chris Algieri. But yeah, share your thoughts below on this one. Peace.